Week 11's lecture this week, I'm trying to explain to you guys about something quite application level, the implication of cognitive psychology. Okay, so far we have learned what is cognitive psychology and the most important part of the structural information of our cognition, including visual memory, or long-term memory and working memory, and then how these three things are interrelated to make a decision. Okay, this week, the major topic of this week is how we make a decision based on our perception and cognition. So that links to economics, your decision theory, decision science, right? Before we going further on this topic, we have two summary questions, review questions of last week's topic, such as, exciting, isn't it? Anytime. Okay. For the last week review, so we have learned about some kind of reasoning process and how we make a learning, expertise, right? Expertise. How we learn expertise, how we get the expertise, how we obtain the expertise. That is, we have a couple of major topics, dealt with some of the strategic learning and set effect, framing effect, right? Never know that? Okay, never know? Just first time you heard? Okay, as usual, first time. Okay, so one of the review questions is about this one. We're learning how to organize problem-solving ability. So it is possible to see parallels between different types of complex systems, such as atomic system. We don't know how the atomic system is working, but we're using something to solve these complex problems, right? So that means to see parallels between the different types of complex problems and adapt a solution to a new example. Okay? So what is called these types of learning? First time, you never heard about it? You get it? YJ, you get it?
Get it.
Answer is?
E.
How? How? So YJ's theory is the answer. So for all the review questions, is B is 75%. So that even though he doesn't know the answer, he just pick up the B because it's 75% of the prior probability. But don't trust YJ. He's one of the bottom line in our class. So, okay, what is it? Learning how to organize problem-solving ability. So it is possible to see parallels between different types of complexity problems. Okay. So what is called this one? I can give it two. So think about it. Oh. 91% incorrect. Oh, first time. 영준. Okay. The answer is B, because you know, if you can't find the solution of a complex problem, you have to use some types of analogy. Likewise, atomic level, we don't know how the neutron and proton is working together, so the Bohr is trying to use the analogy from the solar system. Okay? Right, that is called analogical learning. Very good. Youngjun, you're the only one. Oh, where is Kosa? Here we go. Okay, second question is about how expertise is obtained by their experience. So chess master, the king of chess, okay, chess master, and how the chess master is differently remember patterns, okay, what kinds of benefit. So how the chess master play chess better than novice, okay. So that is question. In his research on ability of the chess masters and chess novices, the Grutter found which of the followings? Number A, oh sorry, okay. You can see clear. Okay, chess master consider more possible move before actually executing a move, or chess master have a better memory for the placements of the chess pieces on the board than do novices. Chess master have enhanced ability of cognitive task, or the chess master show a completely different brain activity in his blood level. Okay, so why the chess master better than chess novice? And they remember many patterns. Okay? The question is why? A, B, C, D. So I will give 1 minute. I mean D. So okay. The correct answer is B because they can remember the patterns. Okay, the patterns help the expert can expect what move they can do. So the pattern is important. Expert knows all the patterns. Number D is D Grutter doesn't have any MRI or fMRI scan image. That is too old, 1965. We don't have any of that technology. So in terms of that, D is not the correct answer, but now it is supported. So D might be the right answer too. But it's not about the D Grutter's experiment. Okay. Very good. Okay, that is summary, review of the last week. And of course, we have something to learn this week based on our review. Okay, probably I have, okay, hang on. The end of the last week, I roughly mentioned about some of the fallacy, audio fallacy, okay? We don't have any chapter 10, it's supported, okay, go directly to chapter 11, decision making. So end of the last week, I showed some of the example of fallacy. Okay, our judgment might be wrong. Okay, why? That is the question. Why our judgment is not irrational? Okay? Rational? Irrational. Most likely this one. But that's why your industrial engineering knows many of the techniques, tools, decision-making supporting tools. What I'm saying is all about them supporting humans' irrational bias to make right decision. So from our cognitive psychology class, I will let you know what aspect of the human being has some errors in decision making. To understand it, we know some of the economics. The economics is study about human decision making, isn't it? Supply and demand. That is our decision making. The price. The price tag is made meeting point between the supply and demand, isn't it? That is the right decision. So if no idea, supply, demand, huh? That's why you need quite a good school, in the middle school, primary school. So that is demand something, supply. So the meeting point is right tag, price tag, right? So that to determine this kind of stuff, we need to calculate some of the mathematical stuff, and that is it. So traditional economics or traditional decision theory has 3 assumptions. 3 assumptions. It's not covered in our textbook. Don't look at the textbook. That is my summary, YJ. Okay? Right. 3 assumptions in economics is first one is the most important thing. We are fully informed regarding all possible options for our decision and of all possible outcomes and our decision option, which means we know everything. Okay? So to do this one, we know that these kinds of lines, graph, every information we need, okay, to determine the right tag price. Also, we have to know all the demand curve. and then we can decide right tag price. Get it? So that is first assumption. The economy, that is history of economics, okay? All the economics is based on the first one. Second one is something about relevant to our probability, human cognition. Say, we are infinitely sensitive to the subtle difference among options, which means that's why, say like this one, if that is 101, okay? And then if someone offers 201, we know the gap. So that's why we are not buying 200 item, 201's item, right? Because we know best price is 100, so we don't need to buy 200 for this item. We know very sensitive data, we detect it, so we can decide based on this information. The most of the fallacy comes from this one. And this one is historically, you know the Bandam? Bandam. What? He's a philosopher, the English philosopher, to propose that human value, the human value is to seek for the maximum happiness. We are human beings, always seek for the maximum happiness. So 1800 is the Bandam is one of the greatest philosophers in English empiricism to found London School of Economics. Have you heard about London School of Economics, LSE? One of the major universities in economics. Many of the, he is a board of the, board of meeting, so the kind of the senior level. So that what he did is first economic proposal based on how we can find maximum happiness. Okay? That is number 3. Our choice, always rational. We never miss it, we never make an error. So because we are rational people to seek for maximum happiness. So if the happiness is that size, if some other happiness is like that, we choose this one, not this one, because that is bigger than this one. That is traditional economics. All the economic prize, the Nobel Prize for the economics, comes from that 3 assumptions. That was wrong, isn't it? That is Chicago, you know the Chicago principle? Okay, so let's go back, okay? Okay. You need something, okay. Probably one of the slides is talking about the Becker. He's University of Chicago, the principal, the professor of University of Chicago University, Pittsburgh. And the most of the Nobel laureate in economics is from that university, based on classic decision theory. Okay, so supply-demand chain, all the equation for the stock market, everything is based on these 3 assumptions. The Becker's main idea is rational choice theory. Our choice is rational, based on all the information, okay? This idea comes from this 3 assumption, right, of course. And this one is attacked by many other psychologists. That's our topic today, okay? This one is wrong, because our choice cannot be rational. We are bounded rationality. One of my experiments, that is linked to our human-computer interaction study or cognitive psychology, I can explain later on. I made an experiment in 3 conditions. One is ID password. When you log on to the internet banking, the system A is using ID and password. The other one is ID, password, national ID number, okay, your 주민등록번호, national identification number, and then security code. The other one is, that is B, the other one is 6 code. Okay, NID, security code 1, security code 2, and mobile phone number. What I did was this one. So if the rational choice theory is right, in HCI we have two different, the major important things in human-computer interaction is usability. Okay, which means easy to use. That's why all the cognitive psychologists are always talking to make it simple to use means using the human resource. So this one is much difficult, isn't it? You have to remember 6 items. Okay, easy of use. Okay, in terms of usability, what system should be better? Should be best? A. Problems?
Easy.
Too easy? Problems of A. Security, right? So we need a security. Which one we're going to choose it? So depending on, okay, so I know that A is the best. Oh, but if I use the A, probably I have something, someone is hacking my account and, what is called it, identity thieves, thieving identity. So that kinds of problem is happen. So which one do you want to choose it? A or B? B. Sorry, A or C? You choose the B. If B is right, we can apply supply and demand line thingy, isn't it? So that is kind of usability. That is kind of security. So the maximum point is B. Likewise, traditional rational choice theory explain this middle point. But my outcome is something strange. So people choose this one. So they ignore this one in internet banking system because they put high weight on security. Okay? So in the traditional way, we have to find this maximum point based on this one, but we can't do that because lost means is big impact to our memory. We never want to lose something. We want to gain something, isn't it? Okay? But lose is more important. So that's why you have the high proportion. It's not same rate. That is object probability, right? 0.5, 0.5. But we are not using this one. Maybe like this one. That's why our decision making or judgment is sometimes, many times, okay? That's why I'm cognitive psychologist say this one is not working anymore. Okay, that is 3 things. Okay, you get it? Bear in mind these 3 things. Now I'm going to play with you guys. Okay, that is our textbook story. So our textbook say actual human decision making is less impressive than that model, rational choice theory. Okay, the rational choice theory or other economic theory on decision making is always say very rational behavior. We are very rational. But however, actually, when we observing how people make a decision, something. Okay. Right. Okay, so that's why I showed the last example and the last week as an example. Say, Penelope is a college student who is described by her friends as somewhat impractical, emotional, and sensitive, like me. Okay. She traveled extensively in Europe and speaks French very well. She is unsure about what career she will pursue on graduation, but she has demonstrated high level of talent and won prize for her calligraphy. That's 서예, 글씨 잘 쓰는 거. Okay, calligraphy. On her boyfriend's last birthday, she wrote a sonnet as a present. What is her major field of study? Okay, so I showed the 2 examples. One is psychology and art history. The last week, many of you decide probably she is art history student. But actually, if you look at the object probability, 확률, probability, it is, your decision is very irrational, such as in my old university in New Zealand, we have 1,300 psychology students, only 15 art history students. In terms of your probability knowledge, so you have to choose psychology, more likely. But you say, oh, that could be B. Because this one is pretty much what? Why this happened? That is cognitive psychologists are interested in why people choose B rather than A. Traditional economic approach, they have to choose number 2, but number 1, right? The psychology. But cognitive psychologists are believing that people choose the number 2. Why? That is the we have to learn. What do you think? Anyone? Sona? Oh, why we choose the A? Sorry, B. Art history student for Penelope. Penelope, yeah. Any thought? Oh, it's something about she been to Europe and calligraphy is good, so it looks like she's good at arting or art or some drawing stuff, right? So the couple of your representative memory in here, okay? You already know, oh yes, if someone really good at calligraphy, she might be major in art or something. If you're really good at math, you're going to be engineering student. If you're really good at Kugo, Korean, the language, so might be they're going to be turned into the novelist, right? So these kinds of representative memory in your mind, decide, okay, that could be number 2 rather than number A. So the memory strength is important for your decision. Representativeness. That is traditional, very, very representative case for Penelope. It looks like, okay, art student. Likewise, this one, Alex example, okay? So Alex is 31 years old, single, outspoken, very bright. She majored in philosophy. As a student, she has a really good socially active, participate in anti-nuclear demonstrations. So what going to be her job? Least likelihood of following statement about Alex's job. So this one is exactly Kahneman and Tversky made an experiment with this one. And he won the Nobel Prize from this one. Easy, isn't it? Nobel Prize is very easy. So, okay. So in their experiment, many people choose the C. 7. Alex is a bank teller and active in the feminist movement. Why? How many feminist movement the participant as well as the bank teller? In terms of your Venn diagram, likewise, if that is bank teller, and the social active ladies, probably this one. Okay? The bank teller is much bigger set, right? So that's why you have to choose 3 is more likely than 7. Isn't it? Because 7 is intersection. 3 is whole set. So 3 is a bigger number rather than 7, isn't it? But even though people choose 7 is more likely than 3. Reason is kind of representativeness. And we have bias to decide some information. We have pretty much biased. So that's why when you make some of the information system design or some system for operators, you have to understand this kind of bias, and then you have to convert this bias into the right decision. And that's why we have to study cognitive psychology. And then, okay, this one. This one is another outcomes from many of you already joined my experiment. One of our people's experiment. So probably you remember that I explained after your experiment about what is experiment for. Okay, so I explained many of you, and then this one comes up say like before the experiment. Okay, normally before the experiment you never know what the experiment is for. That's what most people say. But after the experiment, many of you, I found that many of you already know what the experiment for. Okay, so our decision making is you have some kind of prediction. Okay, before the event, you never know what will happen, so you had the pretty much right decision. Okay, because you don't have any biased information. Before this event, you make a quite good decision making here. But if something happened, your decision making after that is something wrong. Something wrong because of this event. Depends on this event. So if this event is really representative or really strong or really impact on your mind, your decision making is wrong. Okay? Likewise, this way. This one. Okay. There are two job offers. Okay, starting salary is the same. Okay. Okay, company A offer you 50% chance of getting 20% increase in the first year. And company 2 is decide 90% of the getting chance of 10% increase in first year. Which job offer you're gonna take it? Same salary, same starting salary. A. How many people think A is good? Just enjoy your feeling. A. Oh, 10. Okay. B. Oh, hips. Okay. Okay, around 20. Double times. Right. Why? Why we choose the B? Oh? Oh. A. 50% chance of getting 20% increase. B is 90% chance of getting a 10% increase. Why choose B more than A? Anyone? Anyone choose B?
High probability.
High probability, more likely, right? The guaranteed. Ah. Have you calculated? Because you're really good at the probability, right? The industrial engineering student, you learn for Professor Bear, which is my favorite, okay? So he teach you many things on probability, right? But why you're not using the probability? Okay, so in that case, 50% chance and 20% increase likely-wise 0.1. Something like that. We don't just remove the scale. This one, 0.9 times 0.1, so that's 0.09. So in terms of these two numbers, you have to choose what? A. But many of you choose the B. See how you're irrational. So study, your decision is different things. Okay, that's why. Okay, so that is the thing. So backers say, hi. Okay, backers say, why people, I mean, in terms of rational choice theory, we have to choose this one. Because there is a high probability, high likelihood. But Tversky, Kahneman identified we choose this one because that is your subjective probability. This one is objective probability. Okay, this one is objective probability, like 0.1, 0.09 is pretty much objective probability which Professor Bear taught you, but I'm teaching in different ways. We have subjective probability. Okay, so that's why this 0.9 most likely like 1.5, like what YJ said, guaranteed number. We don't want to lose some money. Okay, if you look at the first one, you may not get any increase. 50%, you may not get any increase. But in this case, only 10% risk, right? So that many of you are probably risk avoiding the behavior. That's why we don't want to lose the money. That's why you choose the B rather than A. That is your subjective probability, not objective. That's why I don't like Professor Bear. Okay, we're something different, a different approach. Okay, right. Okay, that's the what? The Simon, Herbert Simon. Herbert Simon, what is made? Herbert Simon? GPS, right? General problem solver, and AI. Okay, he also take the Nobel Prize for the economics. Okay, right. Simon 1957. We are rational. Seems to be rational, but pretty much bounded. Okay. But one point you have to remember is, if our decision making is irrational, that not means we are wrong. That means we are evolved to use this heuristic. That's why I'm trying to explain why human decision making is irrational, because of our quick decision making. That is heuristic. Okay? In terms of probability, we can't choose the class A, the company A, but we are deciding class B because we want to choose very quick decision. Okay, that's why I'm step by step to explain these reasons. So Simon said in 1957, we select an option as soon as we found one that is not the optimal point, just satisfactory level. We can't find the optimal level because we are not computer. Computer do optimal solution. That's why Simon made means engine analysis. GPS, general problem solver, in week 8 mentioned GPS can do the means engine analysis to find optimal solution. Human cannot do this optimal solution search. We are happy with suboptimal. Okay? So likewise, buying a car. Buying a car. How do you buy the car? You never used, you don't have a car, right? I have one, but of course your decision making is based on your budget, okay, your money. But when you just look around all the garages, okay, garages, used car. I mean, just think about used car, okay, used car. Okay, new car is pretty much determined, so used car. Okay, we have heaps of garages, okay. Depending on which garages, you need some bartering, dealing, okay, bartering. The price is down, okay. So used car. So probably you, in my experience, to buy the used car, so minimum you have to look around, popping around 5 or 6 different types of garages. Okay. So of course you have to compromise between satisfactory car versus time and money, isn't it? Okay. So that's why in certain time, when you get fed up with this looking around, you just choose the, okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine, no more. Just give it up. And then buy just a suboptimal solution. You're not doing the all garage search. You just do a couple of garages and then moving around. Okay, garage A, say, garage A, the car, the A car, expensive. But looking good, okay? Expensive, like $5,000. Looking good, okay? And then, of course, you're not buying the first car in the first garage, so you go to the garage B. So, of course, your next vehicle is based on this one. Okay, I saw the nice car, nice brand, Hyundai. So that is A car, but the same years, but $6,000. Okay, okay, you missed the opportunity because you have to buy your car in here. Right? You had to better buy in here rather than in here because you identified that it's $6,000. So your next decision is go back or go to another one. Many of you probably, if you have a time, you go to another garage C. Okay, now it's getting more difficult. $4,000, but it's not looking good compared to A, garage A. Now it's a really hard question. Do we have to go to A or we have to buy just car from the garage C? Make it more difficult. So like a distance between garage A and garage C is at 100 miles. Had to better buy C, A car in the garage C or just garage A? Go back to the garage A. You have opportunity, might be this one sold. Might be sold, isn't it? It's not new car, used car. So if this car is gone, it's gone. Do you have to buy from C or A? That is real life, isn't it? So that's why the Simon said, we are just to find the satisfactory level. So probably in my experience, I buy the couple of the used car. I just buy this one. Okay. I don't want to go back and to risk another opportunity because if there is no more car in here, I have to go back to the again. So they keep running up and down to buy it. So just okay, that's fine. Okay, so if that is cheaper, so we are justified. That is point. we justify this one. Okay, that is not looking good. But I don't want to sacrifice my time to go back to the A, as well as A is $1,000 more expensive. Okay, I satisfy myself, I justify myself, say, okay, C, buy car from C. Justification. We have justification like that. So we are not doing the full search, we're just doing find the satisfactory level is called boundary rationality and satisfying. This one is not covered in our textbook. Right, this one is also not covered in our textbook, but I showed that last week something about this one, the Gamblers Fallacy. All the families having exactly 6 children, that is used by the Tversky one. So all the family having exactly 6 children in a particular city was surveyed. In 72 of the families, the exact order of the births, boy and girls, like girl, boy, boy, girl. What is your estimation of the number of families surveyed in which the disorder? Boy, 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 boy. Estimation? 0.5? Well, 1%? 2%? 재현, JH. What is your estimation? B, 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 B. Likewise, this one. Okay, I just changed this question into the gambler's problems. Okay, so you toss the coin. Okay, tossing coin. Okay, so in the first session, first try, trial 1. Head, tail, tail, head. Okay, so my question is, so next trial, how much this happen? How likely this happen? Okay, just another question, more easy question for you understanding. Okay, you have 6 times head. Okay, now it's your turn. Okay, do you want to bet for the tail or bet for the H? Okay, you saw 6 times in a row head. So now it's 7th trial. Do you want to go for a tail or a head? Huh? Head? Oh, head? How many people go to the tail? Oh, no one. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Head. Don't use the 2 hands, so okay, just 1. Oh, 4. How many? Oh, what about the other 62? No decision? You have to make money from it. Huh? Tail. Okay. Okay, one more. Okay, how many tail? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. The rest of them is head? Okay, 57. Okay. So why this happened? Why choose the head? Why choose the tail? Expect. What expect? Too many head. Too many head. How about H? 장선? You choose the H? No. T? Who choose the H? Head. Head. 남정현. Sorry. 남용현. Head? Why head? 6th one. Okay, so we go use the object probability. In terms of Professor Beck, so what is it? Probability. Huh? Oh, a quarter. Sorry, the half, isn't it? This one is half. But why? Why head is more likely happen? That is Gamblers Fallacy. Say like, if you lose 7 times in a row, you expect next time you will win. Because you have because you expecting what? Low of average. So that is important fallacy. We know that if that is half and half, one day we're going to have too many tails, right? Otherwise, our probability, like statistic, is not existing, right? The law of average means is go into the average when you have a random trial, right? So we have too many head means one day it come up tail to make a balance. Okay, so some people go to this one, that is gamblers. So trying to, okay, I lost. So this time win. Another lost, right? But you keep liking that. That is Gamblers Fallacy. So that's why human decision making is not using objective probability. Comes from this one. Representativeness is another biased information processing. Likewise, this way. Questions. What percentage of the men surveyed have had one or more heart attack? Okay. 용준? YJ? Ask a question. Heart attack. 심장마비. Heart attack. 예. 50%? Okay, good. So Yongjun say, YJ say this one is 50% in this question. Same question. I just add a couple more words in here. What percentage of the men surveyed over 55? 90%? Okay. Okay. The first question is 50%. Second question is 90%. Okay, why? Why this happened? So only we have added up two words, 55. Because you have seen too many people, the older people had a heart attack, rather than young people. So this first question, okay, just say normal information, like without any limited one. But when you see this question, now you know that, oh, this guy is an old man, so that they have more likely to have a heart attack. That's why your personal probability or subjective probability to make a decision is increased. All the doctors using these kinds of heuristic. That's why they have asking question to you guys, your ages, your gender. So depending on your gender and age, they already know there's some kind of cases, representative cases. So that more likely high rate of correction rate. So this one can be called as a fallacy in normal decision making. But because of this one, we are really quick to make a decision. Okay, doctors, okay, you are 55, okay, you have a more likely heart attack. That's why they're asking you whether you are smoking, drinking, okay, how many drinking a day or something. That's why all these kinds of information can increase the level of probability of this one, representativeness. And another question is this one. This time is, forget, Yunsu? I forget your name. Sorry, so I forget your name. Oh, you. Ujin. Ted Ujin, what is it? The Tail Concert, Ted Ujin. Okay, trying to remember. Method of Lucy, Ujin. Okay, so Ujin. Question is this one. Okay, very simple answer. 7 letters ending in ing. Can you tell me? 7 letters, sorry. 7 letters and what does it means? You have to let me know what word is ending with ing. Ending with ing. Tell me. Going. Okay. Eating. Swing. Okay. Anything. ing. Make 10. Somebody help you. Somebody help Ujin. Okay. King. Okay. Ping. Okay. Wing. Okay. Ping. Okay. Bing is the Microsoft search engine, usually search engine. Yeah. Think. Okay. Huh? Huh? That's it? Okay. That's it. So, same question, but even somewhat different. Okay. 7 letters with N as the second to the last. Something, 7 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is N. Huh? Oh, just ignore this one. Okay, ignore this one. Okay. Huh? Oh? 7 letters. The last 2 letters, second to the last is N. Ignore this one. Huh? Why it takes so much time? 7? Oh, bank. Bank is 4 letters. Huh? Remnant. Okay. Remnant. Okay. Descent. Descent means? Descent? What is it? I see. Descent. Oh, END. Okay. That's right. Descend. Okay. Oh, good. Vincent. B-I-N. Oh, yes. Oh, Vincent. Huh? Command. C-O-M-M-A-N-D. Oh. No ing. So, okay, based on these two, just guess which word is more likely in your English dictionary. Which word? Ing word or N word second to the last? Which one is more likely included in your dictionary? This one or this one? This one, isn't it? Huh? But actually, if you count it, this one is 3 times more than this one. Why this happened? Because this one is representative. Ing, we know that every ing, eating, every verb put the ing, right, at the end. So you can make every verb into the ing. So that's why your memory is strength on processing these kinds of things. That's why we have some of the representative information can guide you to make a certain decision. But it could be wrong, but it could be quick. That's why we're using it. Or same things. Here we go. Same things like this one, okay? The aircraft disaster is less likely, much less likely. The car accident is more likely. But all your media, okay, if the aircraft accident happens, all the media coverage is about the aircraft disaster, right? So that's why you believe that aircraft is more dangerous than car travel. Okay? This one. Sunk cost, again. Okay. Sunk cost is a very interesting topic to see our decision making, the wrong decision making. So this one is kind of, the name is Bella game, but it's simple things, okay? Like this one. So if you win this game, total game, you have to win 7 times. Total 7 times. Total 7 times, right? Which means win, lost, but win, and that you're going to win it. All this game, right? That is an example. So you have to win 6 times. 6 times, okay? 6 times. You have to win 6 times to win this whole game. So the game actually stopped when A is won 5 times. A is won. Lost, won. Okay, likewise, B is what? Lost, win. How many times win? The B 3 times. Okay, likewise. L, 3 times win, lost. Okay, that is case. A is won 5 times, B is won 3 times. The same game, whole game, same game. So that's why I'm just paired wise. Okay, so now we have to stop it, all the games. In this case, how much we have split the stake, the money, reward. Huh? Stake. That is called the stake in English, but stake. But I mean, it's kind of simple. What is reward? Okay, $1 million. That is reward. Okay, simple. 8 million. Calculation for you. 5 million? 3 million? That is simple. Okay, so these guys win 5 times, these guys win 3 times. If the total reward is $8 million, we have simply split 5 and 3. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? But probability is different ways. Likewise, okay, this trial, okay, so starting with the B, if he win this whole game, how many times he's winning? 3 times, right? So this guy must have $1 million. These guys must take the $7 million in terms of your probability knowledge. So this one is the right decision. But most of us choose 5-3 rather than 7-1. Okay, 5-3 is your just belief. Sunk cost, right? Because you are thinking about, sunk cost means this one. Oh, the previous history. You have too much weight on the previous event. The previous event like this one. So A winning 5 times, B winning 3 times. So using this information, you decide 5 million, 3 million. That is wrong. So that's why you have to use probability. That's why we need the Professor Bear. Likewise, this one. More realistic case. The sunk cost, right? 2 situations. I will give a first situation. You bought a ticket, the movie ticket. You go to a movie. It was supposed to be a really good, entertaining one, but it turned out to be really boring. Would you leave in the middle and do something else? You pay 10,000 won for your movie. Okay, really boring movie. And then you have to go out or just stay there. Stay? Okay. Stay. How many people want to stay? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. Okay, stay. Okay, 15. Out. Go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay, I changed the story. I will do so as usual. Say. So this one is not bought by you. Someone gave you. Okay? Your friends had a ticket to a movie. She couldn't make it, so gave you a ticket. Okay, instead of just throwing it out. So now you're supposed to be good. The movie is supposed to be good, but it turned out to be boring. But you live in the middle and do something else instead. Stay. How many people want to stay? So this one is not bought by you. Someone gave you. Stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out! Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, it's similar. Okay, similar. Why this happened? Why someone, our interest is not this one. Our interest is why this increased. Why? So like this one, that is your ticket. Okay, that is your friend's ticket. Why, when you bought your ticket for movie, so you are less likely to go out. Why someone gave you is you want to go out. Because, Jian, you have funny story? No? Why you going out? Because you are not bought it. Okay, so that is some cost. Say like this one. You pay 10,000 won, this one. You are thinking too much about this one. Oh, I spent 10,000 won. So even though that is really boring, maybe turn into the really entertaining one time. So you're thinking about this one is really big cost for you. But in this case, never mind. Okay, it's not, I haven't spent any money, so there is no sunk cost in this case. Only time is your sunk cost. So you can simply ignore the time. So this one is really major issue. So these guys think about sunk cost, the past history. These guys, that past history is not yours. Okay, just weaker. But that is different if that is another different thing. Is another Kahneman's experiment is this one. So this ticket is given by you, by someone else, but if these friends turn into your cinema, the movie, okay, that decision is different. Because your friend is looking at you. Okay? If that is the case, this one is significantly lower. I can just explain with an example, like this one. Keep it going. Sunk cost, like why do we consider sunk cost? This one, status quo bias suggests that you should stay in the cinema rather than change your course. So this one you have to remember, status quo bias is we want to steady, we want to stand still. We don't want to move around, we don't want quick decision movement. If you decide something, you want to stick to it. You want to stay today and then justify it. So even though you made a wrong decision, you trust it, that is the right decision. Keep it going. So for, okay, YJ. Okay, so status quo bias is this one. Yeah, question 1. How much you are willing to pay? Oh, I don't bring the mug, sorry. So you know my mug, Kiwi mug, right? So there is only one in Korea because I bought it from New Zealand. So only one in Korea. Very expensive. It's not expensive one, but it's unique one in here. So how much money you will pay in order to get this my Kiwi cup?
10,000 won.
Okay, the A is 10,000 won. Okay. Okay, so now I can give you money. Okay, the gift. Okay, another gift. This one is you have to buy it. The second one is you will get a gift, right? So what amount of money you make you indifferent between the mug and the money, which means how much money do you need if you now want to buy that cup in 10,000 won?
2,000.
2,000 won? 2,000? So which means you want to buy the 10,000 won for cup and you want to swap with the 2,000 won and 10,000 won?
Yes.
2,000? Okay. Okay. Very, very conservative guys. Okay. Okay, number C. So, like this one. Now, I gave you a mug. Okay, so now you can sell this mug to someone else. How much do you want? How much do you want from Chanyeong?
$10,000.
$10,000. $10,000, which means like 10 million won, something like that. 10 million won. You don't want to sell it. Okay. So why this happened? So this one is done by the experiment by the Kahneman as well. Okay. First one is about this one. The status quo bias is this one. So you decide first decision very objectively. So you look at this one, a cup, for example, and then you decide, okay, the price of this cup, which is unique in Korea. So that means, okay, 10,000 won is enough. The second question is not much important. Second question is kind of muddy question. Not to think about the first question, so that is kind of dummy question in this experiment. Third question is important. Okay, third question is that now this mug is yours. The first one is you have to buy it, not yours yet. Okay, but this one is yours now. Okay, how much you want to value your cost, value of the price, value of the product. So Yongju YJ say that is 10,000 won. Starting with the 10,000 won, C is $10,000. Like 1,000 times more. So why this happened? Because this one has a value, because when you obtain the decision, okay, you value too much on it. Okay, because you get the product, you get something in your mind, in your fold. So that's why you value this one is more important than your first decision. First decision is more likely objective, but last decision is more likely subjective. Example is this one. I can just read the example with something else, but status quo bias is this one. So when you have one, you know the quality. Like iBook or iPhone, something like that. So before you're getting it, that is kind of lottery, okay? Because you don't know whether this one is really good product or not. So that's why when you have it, now you know the quality, so that you value more. Because you have information in here. When you made the decision, okay, interesting thing is, when you made the decision, and if you have a really good outcomes from your decision, you trust it, that is a good decision. Okay, that is what happened in 2008, the finance crisis, that comes from it. Okay, so that the stock exchanger, okay, stock traders believe that their decision was right. They just pay into, what is that, subprime mortgage or that sort of thing. That when you decide some decision, and then if the evidence supports you, you keep it going with this idea. So that is first one. The second thing is important. We don't want to spend transaction cost. Do not want to change the route. Okay? That means status quo. So when you decide it, you want to collect the information about your decision. Even though the evidence says your decision is not right, you believe that, okay, this one is not the right evidence, so you just simply ignore it. Okay, so that's what you want to stick to in here. Transaction cost. You hate transaction cost. And then when you have these kinds of thing, you have a habit. That is turned into your habit. Trading habit, okay, eating habit, that all comes from it. So that's why I normally choose the jjajangmyeon, okay, without any thinking about this one, because that turns into habit. Jampong, jjajangmyeon, which one? Okay, so habit. My habit is jjajangmyeon. I don't want to think about why do I have to change jampong today. I don't need it. I don't want to spend my time to think about which one is the right decision for today. Of course, when I have some drink last night, I choose it, the jampong, as an alternative, because I know that value, the jampong's value after drinking. Okay? Many of you have the same opinion with me, but that is kind of things, because when you have information, you know the quality. Okay? So that's why you choose it. Or decision changing, but otherwise you normally go into habit. Okay, we'll use the status quo bias with our ticket example. Ticket. The first one is, oh dear, so I spent $10,000, 10,000 won for the ticket. So now I have heaps of information. Spend money, another 10,000 won to another ticket to see another movie. I have to wait a long queue, join the queue, the waiting outside, have another popcorn, another Coke, right? I have too many information in here. Okay. Well, can I compromise it? Oh, just think it. And then, what is there to guarantee that I won't be disappointing? When I go to the next movie, is it guaranteed that movie is really nice? That's why you have to Google search it. Oh, reputation, movie reputation. Okay, so that's why you do it. So we need information. So when you know information, you can decide it. Oh, I know that the next movie, oh, that might be good. And then you just give up your sunk cost, 10,000 won. Otherwise, you keep steady there. Status quo. Okay, transaction cost. Okay, sure. Okay, but then what? Okay, if I go out, okay, I can just go out, like 7 people in outside, 7 people in your decision. Okay, I want to leave this cinema, but what should I do next? If you have a really nice thing to do, when you go out, of course you have to go out. Otherwise, you have to just stay. See? And then second thing is, oh yes, now the movie is boring, but that turns into, might be interesting one day, sometime later. So that using these kinds of things, you don't want to change your course. Just stay there, not go out. Stay on the movie, even though that is boring. So when you get out, really just kind of, what the heck is this movie is, something. Okay, those things. And the habit. I could go switching like that from one cinema to another, something like, okay, I just watched this movie and that is not interesting, so I go into another cinema that is also not interesting. So how many times I have to move out and move in to find the right movie? So that doesn't make your habits. So that's why I hate this one. No, I will be better off staying in here. So that's why we're just staying there. So that is kind of how the sunk cost is linked with the status quo bias. When you have these two combined information, you just stuck to one of your decision. So when you make a decision, you have three things to consider to avoid status quo bias. Okay? This one. This one is another interpretation about why the sunk cost is into account, why the sunk cost is considered. Say, the movie is boring is very short-term temptation, but you can learn lesson. So next time I will search Google. So this one is a long-term goal. So you justify your decision to stay in the movie, say, okay, that's fine, this time I can stand up. Okay, so I can hold it, but I learned something, so next time I will use Google search or cinema review thing. Okay, this one is social reputation. It's a new concept. 2007, one of the researchers and social scientists to explain why our decision making cannot be used in social situation. That happens in social network and your current community situation. Some people may suspect that, so you can leave the movie, the cinema, right now, but I mean, of course, in the cinema time, so there's heaps of people, right? But if you just stand up and then out, which means you have some kind of suspect, probably, of course, you don't know that these people, but you probably believe that, oh, they just saw to see me, or I'm not patient. This guy is really something unusual. So that this kind of reputation it's not help. The boundary bound your decision. If someone looking at you, if someone know you well, but your decision making is changing. That is handled in week 13 in our organizational psychology. So when you do some kind of organization, you're going to be turned into the manager or boss. When you need to monitoring your juniors' performance, when you're not, must be really timely. Depending on your time, the juniors' performance can be changed because they know you are observing them. Hawthorne effect, you know the Hawthorne effect? Huh? Hawthorne. The lightning, the light illuminance can increase the, the productivity, right? But Hawthorne effect is that is a physical understanding of Hawthorne effect. The second thing is, the most important thing of Hawthorne effect is that one. If the lighting is really good, like this one, you know that I will observe you. Your boss, you're going to always can be seen, that's why you have to work hard. Lighting level is not much important in that case. If I can see you, if someone can see you, and you know that, you work hard. Of course, your mom and daddy is observing back from you when you have a middle school and high school for your entrance exam, right? So that's why that helps to performance increase. But in our cases, like some people may suspect that I'm impatient, unreliable in general. So that's why you can't leave it. But when this one is given by your friends, strikes back the rationality. Okay, strikes back, you know that? Strikes back? The movie, Star Wars, strike backs, right? Okay. The rationality is ignored. So you can, when the ticket is given by your friend, the previous bias, sunk cost, status quo bias, is gone. Totally gone. The weaker. That's why you can have better decision making. So if the move is wrong, you're just out. Okay? Okay, so that's it. And the next week, tomorrow, I will explain all this example with Bayes' theorem. You know the Bayes' theorem? Professor Bear taught it, right? So Bayes' theorem, I'm trying to explain how the Bayes' theorem is associated with this cognitive psychology decision making. Okay, that is job for tomorrow's.